Greetings everyone and welcome to the Occult Think Tank. My name is Greg. In this video I am going to talk about something that happened to me today that makes me wonder, did I just experience a miracle? Let me set the stage on this one. Those of you that have been following my channel for a while know recently I've been in a very dark place. Well, it got as dark as it could today, when I started today. To set this up, I had extremely limited food, have for the past few days, which had made life not the most pleasant. Ran out of soda last night. I had enough money to go get one more 2-liter. I first went over to a friend's place. He was busy, and he said about calling him later today. So I walked from his place across town to a grocery store where I could get one for a 2-liter for 79 cents. And on my way home, which was back across town, I'm nearly 50. My legs don't like walking that much. I was stopping frequently to sit down and rest my legs because my legs hurt. Well, I was relatively close to my house, and I was sitting on the far side of a tree. That if there would be a tree here, I was on the opposite side. And all that somebody would have seen, if anything, would have been this shoulder on sticking out from behind the tree. And this jacket, which anyone that is former military would know, this is an army jacket. Well, I saw a car pull over and they put their four-ways on and somebody was walking back toward me. I didn't know what the deal was, so I just sat there and waited. When he got to me, he asked me if he could sit down, and I had said, yeah, go ahead. I mean, to me it was the ground isn't owned by anybody as far as I knew. He asked me how I was, and I wasn't going to come right out and say how shitty I was feeling, because typically from my experience, when people ask you how's it going, they don't want to know. They don't really want the truth. That's just basically it's a way to try to be nice. So I wasn't really going to elaborate on what I was feeling. Well, he seemed to pick up on where I was emotionally. And I guess he could see some of it in my facial expression. And as you can see, I'm not wearing my teeth, and the reason I'm not is I can't. I tried putting them in the other day. The bottom plate won't go in. That all started because during the pandemic, when I was working at a convenience store, I had to wear this stupid mask shit. And if I'm going to be covered from here down, there's no point in wearing a fucking mask and wearing my teeth, because nobody's going to fucking see it anyway. Well, my ex had found online this mask. And to me, this was my answer to having to wear a mask. It was one, you want me to wear a mask? Fine. This is what I'm wearing. just because to me it was pointless. It was stupid. I had shown different customers just how fucking pointless the cloth masks were because I did have one of them stupid things. And when I would go out to smoke a cigarette, I would put a cigarette in my mouth, light it, then pull the mask down, pull the mask back up, and exhale. And the smoke would go right through the fucking cloth mask. And I had said to people, if smoke, which is a hell of a lot larger than a fucking virus, can go right through the fucking mask, no problem. What good do you think a mask is fucking doing you? It's all show. It's one, I am a skeptic. I do not believe just because the media tells me to or because the government tells me to. Fuck you. You want me to believe something, show me evidence, show me facts. Don't give me this, especially, we don't know so X. That's an argument from ignorance. If you don't have an explanation, you don't have an explanation. And that could be the answer to this today. But this, what happened to me today is so far beyond what logically makes sense. Because there were a ton of people that had seen me walking both directions, going to the grocery store and the other way. No one else had even stopped or asked me anything. Nope. And that's what I would expect. Because you're not going to, as a typical rule, when I go out, I'm not paying attention to other people. Everybody has their own shit that they're dealing with. You're not going out and thinking, does somebody need my help? You just don't think of that. We get stuck and caught up in our own lives and our own issues, because everybody has issues, everybody has their own problems. I'm not special in that regard. Everybody goes through shit. The thing is, this person, he had sat down and we were talking. He asked me how I was doing, and I hemmed and hawed, and I guess my facial expression and so forth told him everything he needed to know. He then asked me if I wanted a cigarette. Well, given the fact that I was down to basically 2 packs, this, which is really just a container for the home roll that I have made, and this one that is a full pack yet, I wasn't going to turn down the aspect of a cigarette. Fine. Because at that point, I was not thinking that this was going to be any more than that. He then asked me if I needed food. And I didn't really come right out and say yay or nay. But I guess I don't know if he was reading my facial. And I saw a 50 and I was thinking, if he gives me $50, that would be incredible. He gave me 100. My mouth, I'm sure it went. I could not believe what was happening. I had never had anything like that even remotely happen. Well, found out this person lives about a block from me. I, of all the weird things, I needed somebody basically to help get me back on track as far as get my mind right. The thing is, he lives about a block from me, so it's one I definitely, and he has my Skype number now, and he had said if I have any more, and he said episodes, or I know what he means, the aspect of if I feel depressed, to call him. It's one, my ex that I lost was former military. She had been in the Coast Guard, and I had been in the Army. But I did say to him, I didn't realize when I enlisted that I was joining a brotherhood. But that is essentially what I was, and what everybody that enlists in the military is becoming a part of. That, but even those that are former military, you're not going to, it's not normal for somebody to go to the extent that this guy did. Because I went back to his place, and at that point I was seeing it as he had done enough. He didn't have to do anything else for me. Well, he wasn't going to have any of that. I tried telling him, I'm good. Really? One of, you've blown me away already. You don't need to do anything else. He had a bag of tobacco like this. And this, I roll my own cigarettes because, hell, it's cheaper. He had a bag like this. I told him, I'll be good. I'll be able to go, because of the money you gave me, I can go get a bag of tobacco in tubes. Oh no, he was having none of that. He gave me a box of tubes that is about 3/4 full, plus some tobacco. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? He asked me if I drink. No. And I told him, I have a skull that I don't know if this is gin or vodka. I think it's vodka. But I have had this for years. I got this all because it's a skull. It's something that I may give to him if he wants it, because he does drink. Because this was one I got when I was with my unit. And as you can see, it's quite discolored from my smoking. And this sits right under my monitor. And it has for years. But, and yeah, I know for all the non-smokers, the aspect of, basically, you see how dark the skull is, what the lungs look like. Yeah, I know. I don't give a fuck. The thing is, he had said, and this is his explanation for why he was able to see me where I was today and so forth. He said that God told him that he was going to be needed today. And it's just one of, I told him I'm an atheist, but I am open to various ideas, and that is, for me, that is among the wildest. To propose this idea of the reason he was able to see me today and want to reach out and help is because a God told him to? Okay. I don't have a rational explanation for this. And I fully recognize the argument from ignorance that is behind what I am saying. But I'm also one for what logical, rational reason is there for what happened today? Because the very thing that I needed, not just the money is, I use the term with him, it's a godsend. It absolutely came at the time, just when I needed it. But more than that, basically, I now have a friend that I can turn to if I have a problem and if my emotions do rise up again, because that was something with my ex that if I would have anything, if she would need anything, she would call me and I would be there in a heartbeat, and vice versa. And when I lost her, it was basically I'm alone. And that was basically emotionally, that was killing me. That I had the feeling of the biggest, the one person that I had, to use the term, the military connection with, is gone. And not only the monetary help, but the aspect, he's former military. So it's one, there is on contact, there is a common thread between us. We both, basically, we've both gone through the basic training. We know what military service is like. And it's just, the Army uses the term of a battle buddy. Because with the Army, the idea is you don't go anywhere alone. You always have somebody to have your back, type of thing. And in that regard, my ex was the one that I had her back and I knew she had mine. Well, I had lost her. And I can fully appreciate, even more so, how somebody could feel being over deployed and losing somebody that was essentially their battle buddy because of war. That would be very painful in and of itself. It would be like losing a part of yourself. But I'm very hesitant with the God explanation. But I don't have another. Because this type of shit just doesn't happen. There were tons of people that had seen me today, going both ways. Only one person stopped and even asked me how I was feeling, let alone to go as far as he did. I don't know. I'm very reluctant to use the term of a miracle. But lacking that explanation, what else is there? This doesn't mean that I'm going to start believing in a God. I would need more than, far more than this type of thing, but it does make me question the aspect of, is there something? Because I had told him that it's a good thing that I do not believe that there is an afterlife, because if I would feel even for a second that my ex is in some kind of afterlife, that all I have to do is die and I could see her, well, shit, I can do that. I mean, if you want to get down to it, this idea of an afterlife, when somebody is dealing with the depression that comes from the loss of someone that they dearly loved, you toss out this idea of seeing them again in some afterlife, somebody that is that depressed, you could push them to being, I want to be there right fucking now. That is why, even if it is true, I believe it is harmful to try and instill and have that idea even a possibility in someone's mind. Because even if it is true, it would mean that they do not value and do not give a damn about this life anymore, because they just lost somebody that means the world to them. That is the danger that I see in this afterlife idea. It is it's an idea or a perception of this afterlife issue that I hadn't thought of before, because I hadn't experienced anything like this before. But that is another reason why I feel fantasies of an afterlife cheapen life, because it can get you to where you don't want to be here anymore. That what reason is there to go on when your entire reason for being here in the first place just is no longer here? Yes, there are others that you can encounter and so forth, and you can help people even after, but when you're in that spot emotionally, you're not thinking of that. All you're thinking about is the pain that you are feeling. And the idea of seeing someone again, well, fuck me, if that's possible, let's just get to it. That is where those type of ideas are extremely dangerous. And I don't want anybody to get this twisted type of thing. I'm not going to off myself. I thought about it, but it's not something that I'm going to be doing. That's not, no, that's not an option. But it definitely changes. Today definitely changed my thinking and everything. I'm very curious as to what explanation or what would you say as to what caused or why this type of thing could happen. Because, frankly, this never happened before in my life, and to be totally honest, I don't expect it to ever happen again. I would be truly stunned if this would ever happen again. This is so far beyond the realm of, to use the term, possibility. But feel free to leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. Talk to you later, people.